Secretary of State Marco Rubio detailing how the U.S. will now control Venezuelan oil production as the country holds the largest oil reserves in the world.
What that regime relies on and is their economy fueled by oil. And right now it is an oil industry that is backwards and really needs a lot of help and work in terms of it. There's a quarantine right now in which sanctioned oil shipments, there's a boat and that boat is under U.S. sanctions. We go get a court order, we will seize it. That remains in place. And that's a tremendous amount of leverage that will continue to be in place until we see changes that not just further the national interest of the United States, which is number one, but also that lead to a better future for the people of Venezuela.
So let's bring in host of Making Money on Fox Business, Charles Payne. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
What a great New Year's surprise, right?
Absolutely phenomenal on every level. It's economic, political. You know, it's the people in Venezuela need this more than anything else. Honestly, I mean, this is a country that's been stuck. Socialism wrecked this country. You just heard Marco Rubio talking about the potential, right? Because they have all the oil reserves, but they ruined their industry. In fact, it's going to take maybe $100 billion, maybe 10 years to get it back to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
But, of course, they need to do it. You know, you didn't see a lot of protests anywhere in the world about this, right? Because these are some folks who are suffering. On our side of the ledger, it's phenomenal. You know, we refine heavy crude. That's what they pump out of Venezuela. Of course, on the narco-terrorism side, we've already seen overdose deaths coming down. I think you'll see more of that. So, and that, by the way, is again a social economic thing. You know, that we all should be cheering.
Yeah, they have so much oil, but the output remains at a fraction of capacity because of mismanagement, the lack of investment, and because of these sanctions. And China, it seems, is getting the majority of the crude and of the fuel oil. So, what does this mean for the United States? How can we make sure some of that comes here?
Well, again, you heard Marco Rubio talking about the sanctions, you know, and not allowing any tanker to leave without U.S. approval, right? So this just instantaneously hurts China massively because, to your point, their output to China was growing. Ironically, though, part of that was that China would help them with things like defense. That was a big failure over the weekend. That didn't necessarily work out for Venezuela, which, again, is great because, remember, one of the big stories last year that was underreported was how all these folks, these countries that have, in South America that had embraced socialism have flatly rejected it. Election after election after election, Trump-endorsed candidates in South America won overwhelmingly. People who've lived with this, they don't want it anymore. And so, again, if one of the carrots is China saying, hey, we'll provide you with defense, maybe that's not worth it. Maybe that's not worth it.
Taking a second look now, right? So ExxonMobil lost $1 billion when Chavez nationalized in 2007. They tried to get some of that money back. They were awarded $77 million, but so far that has not been paid out. When it comes to ConocoPhillips in 2007, Conoco lost $30 billion. Years later, they got $8.4 billion in a settlement, but they have only received $2 billion out of that. And then Chevron chose to continue operating there in Venezuela. Will Exxon, will ConocoPhillips, will they see some of that money?
I think they will. And again, this is not a short-term thing. You know, it's like the tariffs. You know, anyone at home trying to grade this by, oh, what happens to oil in the next 2 days is making a big mistake. This is a monstrous, big-time, smart, you know, Monroe Doctrine kind of move for the long-term health of Venezuela and America. It's a win-win for both sides. It doesn't happen overnight. I think all these companies now will be made whole, but more importantly, I think they'll be made whole to the point where they make the investments needed for the Venezuelan people to have some prosperity that they, by the way, that they had before they embraced socialism.
Yes, we were able to go there. I went there in middle school. It was beautiful.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much,
You got
Charles.
it, thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.